I love, by the way, going back to the bubble, I love that you have a quote out there that you acknowledge the importance of Anthony Davis's game winner in game 2. Because I bring this shot up all the time, even going back Memphis, Golden State last year in game 1, where Klay Thompson hit a game-winning 3 with like 30 seconds to go. It was a botch switch. And this is how playoff series are won and lost. Like it can honestly, the momentum, one game is so important in a playoff series, and the momentum can switch so much. And so Mason Plumlee, shout out to a Duke guy, point switched, and AD comes off, hits a game-winning 3, y'all are down, you win the game or whatever. And AD, particularly early in that finals, was as good as I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
And on the other side now, I've always obviously had respect for AD's game and didn't quite understand the media game. Now that I've been in media, I feel like he is one of the most maligned great players, if that makes sense. And some of it is like availability, and I always want to provide the context, like, motherfucker's 6'11", he's running around on a basketball court, like he's going to get hurt occasionally. There's some of it is like he's not all the time, he's not the featured guy with LeBron, right? And so there's all these ways to nitpick him. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
Do you think the way he's sort of covered and how people view his career has been fair?
No, because like playing with him, like AD does a lot, like you might not see, like he might not be doing that, but he's covering that basket, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, like he might go up for a block and come down on somebody's feet, so that's just like an accident. So like the availability, like he wants to play through his injuries, but that just like, the organization holds back on that, so it's looked at as, oh, he don't want to get out here, or he don't want to do this. And also, like, as a professional, we got to take care of our bodies. Like when we do have an injury, we can't keep playing on it to like shorten our career, or now we're not gonna be able to get back on the floor. So yeah, like for me, like I've also learned a lot just being around them guys, like taking your time and actually getting your treatment when you are injured, because you don't want to come back too early and then you're timid and then now you can't move and you hurt something else. So yeah, I think it's unfair for him because AD's one, like he's a great player. Like as far as like defensively, like offensively, man, he has it all around game.
Where do you? There was a ESPN poll, I think it was right after the bubble, where remember they ranked the players. They ranked the players. I didn't know this until like much later on that they don't actually ask the panelists to actually rank players. They give them a bunch of guys and they say, would you rather have JJ Redick or KCP? And they asked like 50 people that. And let's say they said, I like KCP more than JJ, 27-23. Okay, that means you move up and I move down. And then they go, all right, do you like JJ Redick or Jared Dudley? And then they rank those.
Crazy.
That's really how they do it. Anyways, one year, I think it was after the bubble, he was ranked number 2 overall in that ESPN NBA rankings, right? And look, I've always felt like he's been a top 10 talent. I don't know that he's ever been the second best player in the world. And you can respond to that. You can respond to that. I could be wrong there. I've always had such a great amount of respect for his game. But what I've sort of seen in LA is your point about how much he does that we don't see, right? It's because so many people just look at a box score, right? And as good as he is offensively, he's also a connector offensively, which people don't like. Look, he's never going to be Jokic as a playmaker, but in some ways, like Bam is a connector, AD is a connector. Like there's certain bigs that are connectors, and he's that. And then defensively, I just think he's a monster. What is the best version of AD that you've ever seen in his career? Was it New Orleans? Was it bubble? Was it later on in LA? What do you think is the best version of him?
I would say like early in his career and like bubble AD. Like that was some great basketball. Like it was like amazing to watch him like just do his thing on both ends of the floor. Like it's like at some point like we get beat, from the perimeter, like we know, all right, we got somebody back there, which was AD or JaVale or Dwight. So just knowing you got that type of rim protection back there, what I'm saying, that make you want to play a little bit more defense for your bigs too. So, but I think like early in his career in New Orleans and the bubble, some of the great basketball I've seen.